Hi beaters, today I'm going to show you a fun technique that's called herringbone wire wraps. I like to use this technique for earrings. Here I've used some 8mm pearls, some 10mm pearls, and you can go, gosh, just about any size you want. 12, 14mm, any round bead works well. So I'm going to be using some 24 gauge wire. I'm using some Beadsmith anti-tarnish craft wire. So 24 gauge, that's important because that's the thickness of the wire. So it's very inexpensive and it comes in silver, gold, copper colors. I'm going to be using the copper color today because I'm going to be wrapping this a pretty purple pearl. So I'm going to take my piece of wire. I cut it about 15 inches in length. That'll give you plenty to play with. It's inexpensive, so always cut more than what you think you'll need. I'm going to take my chain nose pliers and I'm going to grab the wire about 2 inches down from one end. I'm going to use my fingers and just bend the wire at a little 90-degree bend. Then I'm going to take my round nose to make a loop. I'm going to grab it right on top of the 90-degree bend, about 1/3 of the way into the jaws of the pliers. I'm going to use my fingers to wrap it over the top of the round nose to make a nice loop and just turn my wires to make a circle there. You got to have that nice crisp little 90-degree bend. So I have my loop. Now I'm going to take my chain nose, grab that loop directly over the top, grab it nice and tight, and then you're going to finger wrap. You're just going to use your fingers and you're going to wrap that 2-inch piece of wire about 8 to 10 times around that long stem. And you want to swing it around just about halfway around at a time, just so you have a little bit better control over it. So that looks about 4, 5. It's very thin and flexible wire, so it's very forgiving. And that looks about 10-ish. If you're making earrings, I like to do both of these at the same time, just so you know that you have about the same amount of wraps on each one, because that'll give you a little bit better looking earrings, a little bit better for sizing. So I'm going to snip the end of that excess wire off, just give it a little pinch with my chain nose just to tuck that little burr in. So now I have my loop with my 8 to 10 wraps. I'm going to add my bead. So I'm going to string that pretty purple pearl on there. And I'm going to slide it all the way down the wire so it's snug up against my wraps. So I have my wraps and my bead. So to make the earring, I'm going to take the wire, I'm going to wrap it snug around the outside of that bead along the side. You're going to hold it there. You're going to wrap the wire around the front of the wrap, go all the way around the back, and then to the front again. So now I have it halfway around and I've done the little swing around the stem. So now I'm going to go all the way around the bead. So holding the bead nice and snug, just wrap that wire around to the bottom there where you started. And then if you pinch the bead on each side, then it prevents the wire from slipping over the edge. So you want to have a nice grasp on it. You want to bring the wire behind that first wire that you brought and then cross over the front and then swing it around the back and then around the front again. So we're going to continue to do that. Again, bring that new wire behind the back of the old one. Kind of force them into place a little bit. Guide your fingers all the way around. So we're behind the other wraps. So when you come around again, you're going to bring the wire just above the previous wrap. And then go around and then back to the front again. So as it continues to grow, you'll see that these wraps go a little bit above each and every time. That creates that nice little kind of fan look there. So again, we're going to continue to do that until we reach the top. So we're going to go behind, use your fingers to guide. Wire is very forgiving, but it's got kind of a personality of its own. So again, bring that next wrap just a little bit higher, wrap around the back to the front again. And I think we have enough. We can do that one more time. So kind of guide the wire behind your other wraps. Kind of force them into place a little bit. Nice and tight. So again, I'm going to swing it around the top. So when this is your last wrap, and you'll know because you've reached the top, I'm going to wrap it a couple times around just to secure it. Nice and tight. And then this excess wire, just take your cutters, snip it off, use your chain nose just to kind of tuck the end of the wire in place. And there is your little wire wrapped bead. So you can finesse it a little bit if the wires look out of place, or if you want to kind of move the wires a little bit frontwards or forward. But that's your little bead. You can use it as an earring. You can add ear wire to the loop, or you can attach a piece of chain. So that way you can kind of wear it as a pendant. But that's it. So it might take a little practice, but it's well worth kind of futzing around and playing with those. So that's your herringbone wrap, 24 gauge. You can go up to shopmidwestbeads.com for wire and tools, and have fun playing around with your beads today. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.